Hi all, Karen here. Today with another card for Christmas in July. Today I have a special one. I have ta-da, a light up card. Ta-da! Now these here that I have on here, you can't buy these stamps anymore. They were from Crafter's Companion from a couple of years ago, but it was the only cartoon reindeer I had. So look through your stash and see what Santa Claus and reindeer you have. Also, keep in mind Christmas trees and other things like that that you can light the stars up. I think a nativity scene with the Bethlehem star lit up, that would also be really nice. But today we're going to do Santa Claus and reindeer. One more time. Oh, fabulous. So let me get this camera turned around and I will show you what the lights look like from Pear Blossom. All right, so let's look at this little cutie. This little nose that lights up. That's just really adorable. So these lights here are the two lights. These are two of the kinds of lights that she sells. So this is what we're going to be using. So it's a single light that there's a button here. The battery fits in here. And this is the panel that will go inside. These lights are 3. It's a pack of 3. So if you wanted to light birthday candles or something, yeah, so you're going to be seeing these in the future. So these are multi-light. She also has some halo lights and a couple other different lights. But these are from Pear Blossom Press. Amanda and her husband came up with these. And they are great. If you go look on Pear Blossom Press's YouTube channel, they show you how to put in the lights. And they have a bunch of different cards there. But yeah, but these are fabulous. So the stamp we're going to use is, I have this set from Gina K. And this is a nice set that has all these different, you know, push, press, little arrows, and all kinds of things. Spin. That you'll need in very different, kinetic cards. So this is kind of a nice set to have. And this set was called Make It Move Mini, in case you're interested in that. And the stamps I'm using aren't available anymore, but they were in my stash, and they were the ones that fit. Because when I saw the lights, and I got them when I went to the expo, I was thinking, it has to be Rudolph with his nose. And this was really the only reindeer I had that I could use to do that with. So look in your stash and see what reindeer you have that you can cut the nose out of and use. And this is the Mrs. Claus. She did not make it onto the card. But we have Santa, and he made it onto the card. So this is what I'm going to use. These were from Crafter's Companion. And this was the wobblers that they sold a couple years ago. But they're basically just stamps. So that's what we're going to use here. All right, so this card is going to be a 5x7, so you'll need a 5x7 card base. So that, of course, is the 7x10 folded in half. And this is a pre-made card base I had that was in colors, and I'm just going to use that to get it used. So then we need a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 for the matte layer, which is the red here. And then the paper I'm going to stamp on is 4.5 by 6.5, and that will fit on here. All right, so that's everything we will need. So let me get the stamping platform. I'll put my paper on here. And my sticky mat still has glitter on it from the other day. But I think it's going to survive Christmas in July without having to change it. So we're going to put Santa over here. And I'm going to grab the reindeer. Yeah, and these are little. They're not real big. These would definitely fit on an A2 card because they're only, let me grab my ruler. Even the reindeer with all his little antlers are only 2 inches across, tall. So they would definitely fit on an A2 card. So let's get Santa over here. Let's get the one reindeer over here, because then if he's going to come over here, the second one will be able to fit over here. Well, that's all good. And then we'll draw in the land once we get everybody else stamped on here. So I'm going to just use my Gina K ink that I always use. Get everybody inked. All right, so Santa looks good. So now we're going to move the reindeer over. He still has a bunch of ink on him, so let's wipe him off. All right. we'll put him about here. All right, he looks good. All right. Let's take this off. All right, here's a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to draw in a line, kind of like I did on the first one, to make for the snow. And I'm just going to take an art liner. This is 0.8. It matched pretty close to the lines that were in the stamp, so I'm going to go ahead and use this again. Move that so I can see the edge of my paper. So it's going to come behind Santa, behind the reindeer. This is tail. There we go. All right, that part is done. Now let's go ahead and color. Now for Santa, I'm going to use R37. So we have his pants. Let's see, his boots will be black, cuffs white. All right, so we're going to reindeer. I'm going to make one scarf red on the bottom. So for Santa's skin, I'm going to use 2-1, E21. I'm also going to use that for the inside of the reindeer ears. Then for the green, I'm going to use 2-9. And we're going to color in the rest of the scarf. All right, the reindeer antlers, I think I'm going to use W5. All right, for the reindeer hoofs, I am using C5. For the soles on Santa's shoes is going to be C5. I think his belt, I'm going to make C5 also. I mean, not, yeah, C5. And his gloves. And this reindeer's nose. All right, now for browns for the reindeer, let's see. Let's do the bottom of Santa's feet first. I'm going to use C7 for his boots. Then we'll move on to the reindeer. And I'm also going to do this little piece there. All right, so now for the reindeer, I'm going to do the bulk of him in this color. And this is E35. All right, now for the lighter parts in the reindeer, I think I'm going to use the same color I used on Santa's skin. E21. If it's too light, I can put a darker color over the top. Alright, so Santa, we have the white on Santa, which I'm going to go over with C0, just so it's not so white. His cuffs, and a little on his beard. And I have this little spot over here I missed. Alright, so there's all the reindeer. Alright, so let's do the snow. So for the snow, I have, let's see, that's not what I want. I want this. So I have a clear glitter pen. I have a Spectra Noir Moonlit Silver pen, which is glitter. Shake it up. Yeah, it just gives this nice silver streak. So I'm going to go here, over here. Just make it look like there's some texture here to the snow. This shows up just kind of like a really light silver. I'm going to take C2 or C1. Let's see. What do I want? That's too dark. Let me grab C1. Yeah, I'm going to grab C1. And I'm going to put some shadow under Santa, under the reindeer, and down this side of the body. There we go, just like that. All right, so else for the snow, I'm going to take the glitter pen. First I'm going to put a little bit of gray in here, just to give it a little bit more dimension here. I'm going to go across the top. I'm going to take the glitter pen, kind of go all over. And maybe we'll put a little on Santa's suit. This little puff ball here. Let's see. That's probably good. So now for the sky, I am going to take my sea glass and my powder blue, my favorite two for sky. And I'm going to use smaller brushes for this. So I'm going to start off with some sea glass. And I'm going to lightly go around. Go in between here. Make sure I don't get too carried away when I get down to the edge. Now I'm going to take some powder blue. Make sure I don't have too much on here. Go around the outside. There we go. That is done. All right, so, oh, we didn't put the stamp on there. Put this back in here. All right, so here's our little stamp. And the lights come in a strip like this. You just break it off. So we want, oh, we gotta put the battery in. Batteries do come separate. They come on these strips. You just peel one off. And it slides in like this. And there we go. There's our light. So if we want the light to be on the reindeer's nose, there's the reindeer's nose. And the push button is over here. So we're going to take the stamp and put it over the push button. Make sure we're not putting it on upside down. Make sure that's straight. I'm going to pick that up. Move that out of the way. Take that lightly. I'm just going to tap this light. Maybe one more time. I just don't want to press too hard and mash it. There we go. That looks good. All right, so now I'm going to get my cutting mat. And I am going to go around the edge of the reindeer's nose. And I'm just going to cut the rest of that off. I'm going to push it through to the back. Oh, and he just came right off. All right. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. All right, that is done. So if you look on the stamp, the reindeer does have nostrils. So I'm going to take my vellum and stamp the vellum with the stamp so I have the nostrils on the vellum. All right, so I have this strip of red vellum that I'm going to stamp. Lay that in here. And I really only need the reindeer's head. And again, using the same ink. That's fine, because I really only need his nose. We'll let that dry. Alright, so I did heat set this to make sure it was dry. So we're all good to go now. So I'm going to trim this around by the scarf. And around his head. And I'm going to cut a second layer. Because with the red nose, if you were just using the light, it would be okay. But with the one layer, the red kind of got washed out. So we'll see what this is going to look like. I still may need to color it. So let's test it. All right, so here's our button. Here's our light. Yeah, see, it's still going to wash it out a little bit. So let me grab the red pen and color in his nose. I'm going to color this. That will give us more red. We'll let that dry for a moment. Okay, while all this dries, get that out of the way, I am going to place the light. So we have our red paper here. We have our light, which the little light is going to go in there. Line that up. There it is. This is going to be over here. The push button. Flip this over. And I'm just going to stick a little piece of tape on that for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to curl this up. that on here. I am going to hold it in place because it moved. Here's my little push button. This is going to be on here like this. And voila, that's where my button needs to go. I'm going to draw lines around it. Pull this off. Now I can use some real tape. All right, so I have red aligner tape that I will put on the back of this. Right. I will place this back down where I marked it. I'm going to hold this over here again, make sure I was correct. This will go like this. Yep, we're good. All right, so now I need some 1/8 thickness of foam to put around here to support it. And this is a lot like making a shaker card. All right, let's see if this has dried, which it has. So let's glue this together. And for this, I am just going to apply some tape runner. I'll glue the two pieces together. I'm going to go around the nose. Get rid of the glue that went over the hole. Now we'll line that up. So there's a little bit in there. There we go. I will line this up. Here's his nose. All right, I'm gonna have to hold this up to the light here so I can see it. I know this doesn't make for great television, but it's the easiest way to see it. If I'm holding it up to the light here, then it shines through and I can see exactly where it needs to go. There we go. Much easier that way. I'm also going to apply some glue to this. So in case I don't get it down there completely straight, I will be able to move it a little bit. Because at this point, don't want any problems. I may have to get my head in here. Yep, I got a little close to the edge over here. Let me take that off. Get a new piece. Peel off the backing. Press that down. All right, let's see if we put it in the right place. And we have a winner, folks. So all that's left to do is to take our card, attach it. So we're just going to take some glue. And we're going to put this in the middle. Make sure it's not upside down. All right. Get that centered. And there we have it. Now, this is a colored card base, so for the inside, I am going to use a red frame, a white paper on the inside, and I'm going to stamp it with Merry Christmas. All right, so that looks good. So we're done with that. So now I also want to do the front of the card, which is going to say, sending Christmas wishes and reindeer kisses. Now on my original, I stamped it on here, but this time to give it a different effect, I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to put it on red just like I am on the inside of the card. So I'm going to line this up here, and then I'm going to trim it down after I stamp it. And this is lettering, so I'm not going to stamp it pretty hard. I'm going to go kind of light and hold it. Hope that's still smeared. Let me get a different piece of paper. All right, so I have another paper. Wipe this off. Actually, I'm going to try putting it on the bottom here. There we go. I'm going to trim the bottom of this off a little bit. All right, let's see. Let's trim this to maybe 7/8. So I have 7/8 and 2 1/4. So I will need 1 inch. And 3, I said 2, nope, 2 1/4, so 2 3/8, just to give it a little tiny border. All right, let me glue these down. All right, so this is already up on foam, so I'm not going to put this on any more foam. This will go here. This will go on the inside. Now we're finished with a light up nose. How fun is that? All right, let me get the camera turned around.